It's night 14 of Gothtober 2021. I'm just waiting for Steam to finish updating my games here so we can start playing the letter again. Yeah, this game has been kind of slow, but I know they're building up the characters. Before horrible things start to happen to them, and I can appreciate that. And overall, actually, it's been fun reading through the game. It's a visual novel, you know, with some choices and some QTEs. I've only encountered one QTE so far, but apparently, because in the option screen, you can toggle it on and off, so I take that there will be more of them further in the game. Oh shit, I missed this part about this game. It says this is a hardcore visual novel with over 700,000 words. Expect a lot of reading. You know, I like reading, so it's not an issue. I really do appreciate that they actually have all the characters voiced, so you don't have to read those. So yeah, just waiting for House Flipper to finish updating, looks like. And then we can start. Just gonna look at some things here while I wait. Hey Leon, you made it just in time. How are you? How's your day today? By the way, remember I was telling you about the Hate Watcher? I think the Hate Watcher is back. Yeah, this Hate Watcher has been gone for a little bit, but now he's back, or she, thumbing down all of my videos. Even this one, even this pre-scheduled video for session 3 here of Gothtober, the letter, it got thumbed down like earlier this morning. as I was setting up future live streams, I was like, I went to this one and I saw that it got thumbed down. I was like, oh gosh, this person is very proactive. I love it. I just think it's really funny because I mean at the end of the day I think it helps my stats because it's considered engagement by YouTube, but I mean how much hate do you have where you actually thumb down a scheduled live stream video like in advance? That must be a lot of hate. Oh gosh. Yeah, someone's hate watching in secret. I don't know who this person is, but it's interesting. All right. House Flipper is still installing. I mean patching, so hopefully it will be done very soon. You noticed yesterday the video was thumbed down shortly after you thumbed up. It's funny. Maybe this person was in the hospital for like a month or something. That's why this person couldn't thumb down my videos. I was a little disappointed that the other two streams that I set up for tomorrow and Saturday didn't get thumbed down because I was kind of hoping that they would, because that would actually make my day, because I was like, oh my god, that would have been very telling. Alright, so it's 1.5 minutes. So, are you still going to be streaming to Twitch, or have you decided to start streaming on YouTube? What's the deal with that? Because if you're streaming on YouTube now, you gotta let me know which account you're using. I know you have multiple YouTube accounts, so you gotta tell me which ones. I have to make sure that I follow that channel and all that, you know. You'll be using that one? Okay. I'll make sure I follow that channel at the end of the stream. I think I still have it in my follow list, but I don't know. If you make the jump, okay. Yeah, the cool thing I think for YouTube is, and I think I told you before, I kind of wish that once they had YouTube gaming, they closed that portion now. You know, when they had gaming, I wish I would have just stayed streaming on YouTube, because all of those videos that I have made in the past, all of those live streams on Twitch, they're all gone now. You know, all of your videos live on YouTube. You know, you don't have to make sure that you don't have to do the extra work to forward it over to YouTube and all that. You just live stream here, and then it just kind of lives on afterwards. So I like that. So I regret a lot of those videos from the past, especially like stuff like just Heroes of the Storm, for example. I mean, there are a lot of, I know some of the more fun matches, I did highlight those, but, you know, even the not so fun one, you know, I wish I just have them, you know, so I can just randomly pick a video if I'm in the mood to watch one of my older videos, you know, just pick one at random and just watch them. So, but yeah, just the idea of them just living on after you finish streaming is nice. They're just there as an archive. You know, I hope that YouTube will not be changing their policies when it comes to that, because I think it's the one advantage that they have over Twitch. You know, like after you finish streaming on Twitch, nobody really looks for recorded videos. They're over there just to want to watch live channels, you know. But YouTube, people want to look for they want to look for a particular game. They're not necessarily looking for a live stream, you know, they're just looking for a video. So all right, so that's done. Steam is done with the patch now, so let me start the letter here. This game has like 300 achievements, so it's gonna be like super long. This game is gonna be super long, I think. It might be like the last Gothtober game that we have for this month. Okay. So Rose is dead. She's the first victim of the letter. Isabella Santos drowned herself with work the whole day to forget about the devastating news of her mentor's death. However, she ended up stumbling upon the mysterious disappearance of her other colleagues, and just when she realized something important. What happened with relationships? Something moved. I don't see any changes. Oh, I missed that one. What did it say? Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. Oh no, this is going to be scary now. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily like that.
The Luxbourne Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a sec. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history, from current owners, and lists of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff. They may have a lot of agents hired, but I'd remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us in preparing the mansion for the open house. Then the letters... No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in a fraction of a moment. These people... Rose, the letter.
I need to... No, if it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
You don't know if they're gonna believe you or not. You should just let them know. Wow, this guy has like some kind of Gundam. This person who sits in this cube here to the right. Like a Gundam plushie. Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe. I don't want to get my hopes up yet. But maybe there's still a way I can save them. The letter, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should... The noise cuts sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello?
Oh God.
Anyone there?
Someone must have left their printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person is certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for the said object. Each stride my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learned to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray also, having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each of it up to put someplace proper. But the pages that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as that day in the attic. The sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it wraps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. Oh no! And as if hearing every horrid thought running inside my... What is that sound? Ika. As if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now. Something snaps. A soft creak grating through the thin veil of stillness that has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar, so familiar now. My own treacherous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over my cubicle's wall. Ah, it's her! Standing in the only exit of the office, albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face. Tattered clothes and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back. The pen I'm holding slips from my hand and... Her entire head turns. A scream, it almost escapes my mouth, and I duck under my table as quickly as I can. My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can still hear the bone-crunching sound of her walk. The weird clicks. The weird clicking that follows her. And telltale squelch of something wet as she walks towards me. Nearer and nearer. The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it covers my mouth. Someone, please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. Oh, God! Necrotic paralysis.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
When the last lines of my prayer have left me, all that remains is a hush. None of her footsteps, nor those chilling sounds she makes. Only silence. Is it safe? No, it's not. Another second passes, and then nothing comes. What? Oh! What? She was praying with you. That's funny. You can die and then the game is over? The seconds, minutes stretch out before me agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly I open my eyes to take a peek. I don't dare move or make a noise. In the face of such terror, I can only beg, let out silent pleas to whoever is out there. Please, please don't let her know this. I want to live. Oh, new profile. Oh, now we're playing as Hannah. Nice. So she is 31 years old. She's a former finance manager, British. Master's in Business Administration, major in accounting. She likes children? Oh no. Of the Lex-born upper classes, Hannah is used to living a life of luxury. Absent parents made her crave for attention, though, something she gained from her private tutors and nannies instead. It was never enough, however. She studied hard in order to make her parents proud, going into business so that she could work alongside them. The challenge in her otherwise privileged life was certainly a thrill for her, at the very least. She had many suitors, dating different men and women, but it was through work that she met Luke. It was love at first sight for her. I don't know why she's with Luke. He looks like a girl. Upon her parents' death, Luke proposed to her. That was the move that led to the merging of Wright Enterprise and Evans Incorporated in her subsequent retirement. Their 7-year marriage is strained, but Hannah tries her best to make it work. Yeah, because you guys ain't fucking. She doesn't like Luke that much. It is far too easy to get them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling not had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostiles, if we are honest, and a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am.
Alright.
Hold on. Hold on. Well, he's cuter. Who's this? Alright. Alright. He got the stubble. It's still like, he still have the baby face, even though he has like the puffy eyes. But he's cuter than Luke. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He's more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I'm quite sure I only invited his wife. Much like I am only friends with the chief inspector because of Luke. Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for the Lee matriarch. It was an odd sort of relationship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N, I think. I might be wrong. Aside from being chief inspector of Luxbourne Police, his wife, Rochelle Lee Nee Vance, owns a general electronics company. Fridges and freezers, mostly.
Oh, I always have time for my favorite socialite couple. As I say, you look positively ravishing tonight.
And you sound so ravishing tonight. You sound very hot and sexy. This is the type of man that she needs. Rough and rugged. Fuck Luke.
I see the husband isn't with ya.
Yeah, because you know I ain't interested in him. The way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl? Why? There ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of you know. A little bit of extracurricular activities on the side. I just wish Luke is here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. Why? You think Luke is gonna help you? Please. I know the ones. Men are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets and getting close just because my husband is not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. I mean, you should be flattered. In my own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you're looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Michelle isn't here.
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor. The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with her doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
Yeah. So he's out looking for another person to impregnate. We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so, as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, I've been extricated from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. Because Lee is kinda cute. He is a nice enough person. I adore his wife, who is obviously the brains behind it too. But there is something unsettling about him. I do not trust him as much as I want to. He regaled to me tales of the Luxbourne Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I am privy to, and, though I loathe to admit, is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough, due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the new tank chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked it in the garage.
Garage.
Oh my! You made him chase you all the way home for a prank! What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He's a married man who did not grow up past his 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. A lifetime if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Yeah, but Luke is not interested in you. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my hair and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale, or that something mansion, you know the one with all the ghost stories.
I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's...
The Ermagood Mansion?
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that would be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course! It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartments in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom. I think I have a business card, right? No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name? Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Oh, that's why she purchased the place.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe a lot of people, but it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As it is, I only invited about 30 people to this one, and it already feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's words, not mine. Besides, I have been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he, anyway? Such a nice place. Luke is dressed to the nines, as he usually is. Oh, he also has an earring. Oh. And he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. So only up to November 1st. So this whole game is between... Oh, look at how cute he looks there. Oh, God. Yes. Drop Luke for Lee. Harvey Lee. Wow, yes. It's very exciting. I'm too horny to play this game. Alright, so it's between October 7th, 17th and November 1st. Hannah Wright threw a party in their penthouse at the cache. The city's most powerful were seen, including Chief Inspector Harvey Lee of the Luxbourne Police Department. From him, the socialite heard of the Armangard Mansion's upcoming open house and the interior designer Marianne McCulloch. Yeah, fuck Lee. I mean, fuck Luke. And fuck Lee, yes. Go ahead and fuck Lee and then screw fucking Luke here. Looks like a girl. His butler and valet wait at his side just in case he isn't ready as he looks. Oh, sure, that is normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he is on his way out of the penthouse. Considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCulloch.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this. This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere. You know how I operate, Hannah. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis. And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bollocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. Moan about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but... What? Isn't that like a Me Too kind of situation? It doesn't apply because she's married to him?
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance. But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
It's just a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as they seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it has been for the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad tasting.
Now, sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong. Well, He's obviously gay. I mean, you can't tell.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour and a half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
Certainly, any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Why must he treat me this way? Defend myself.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
Oh, it's a plus? He likes it when she's like when she fights back, because that makes him feel like she's more of the dude of the relationship, you know?
I'm ecstatic. Understood. And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply, before he crosses his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine? Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
It sounds like he wants to suck a dick.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up in genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated, and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And a number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxbourne certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. Bad blood. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel. What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she is panicking over some sort of prank letter or another. The second thing on my mind is how touchy my darling husband is being towards the poor dear. Oh please, you don't have to worry, because only when he's touching a guy, you should worry about him. I cannot even plaster a smile on my face, a horrid scowl taking its place. There's no way I can pretend nothing is wrong as I hum.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
He's quick enough to detract his hand, which is all that the girl needs to, well, for lack of a better word, escape.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Her partner follows, shouting after her without hesitation. There's an awkward air among us, as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl, and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman, Rose, to return and pull us aside into the study for what I rightly assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she's not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke. The last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he's now no doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Oh, it's fine. The poor girl must feel so embarrassed about what she just did. But I say, let bygones be bygones. After all, she's only a child. She looked, what, 19?
I shoot Luke an accusing look at these words. What? Okay, hold on. How old was she? 26? That's a compliment if she if they thought that you look 19 and you're actually 26. After all, he tried flirting with the girl. The nerve of him. And not only that Isabel girl, but also Marianne and Rose too. What? He was flirting with Marianne and Rose? Really? Does this game have controller support, I wonder? Nope, no controller support. Okay. What kind of husband would think that it's even remotely good idea to make moves on 3 different women while his wife stands there? Because he doesn't even really think of it, you know, because he's just touchy-feely, touchy with, like, women, because he feels like, you know, like he's also a woman, so he's just like, yeah, I mean, that's why he's very comfortable in doing that, because he feels like he's one of the girls, you know? It's not because he was trying to do anything else. There's nothing sexual. And she just can't see that. The fact that she hasn't had sex with him since, like, one time, when she got married to him, and then they had sex one time that night, and then after that he has never touched her since, you know, that, and she still couldn't figure that out. Maybe she thinks that you're supposed to only have sex once when you're married, or when you're with somebody. Did he drink while I wasn't looking?
She's a bit older than that. But again, I apologize. And if there's any way I can make up for what just happened, just...
I know what you can do. Be a darling flower and get us one of those bottles you plan to serve. Pop it open.
We were planning on serving some champagne. I can get that.
That would be lovely. Much obliged.
Do you want a glass as well, Miss Wright?
Oh no, I'm fine. I really shouldn't be drinking right now.
And Luke shouldn't be either. But right now I'm just too tired for any sort of argument. I don't have the heart to scold him in public as well. I'm certainly not his mother. I just want to get this horrid day done with, go home and sleep. Perhaps I'll even have a strong cuppa before I head off to bed. Yes, that sounds nice. When Rose comes back with the champagne, I beckon her over. As I have told her partner before, I have every intent of acquiring this house. I might as well, even if I'm having second thoughts about getting it for Luke. Why are you buying it for Luke, though? That's must be nice. The moment we, the Wrights, had expressed interest in this place, we've had eyes set on us. If we don't buy it, that might as well be a signal to have busybodies gossip about how we may or may not have lost our fortune. That doesn't even make any sense. Really? You're gonna worry about if people think that you have money or not? Just enjoy your money. Fuck. Regardless of the fact that it is false, image is everything when dealing with these people. These are the unspoken rules for people such as ourselves. Stupid. And besides, I really did like the place. Why? Everything here is absolutely wonderful. Woo! I didn't expect that at all. Fuck this game. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study. He just wanted to say hi. That is cheap. Fucking cheap fucking ass scare. It looks like a bad fake of an Edward Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price.
That's the painting you thought she was in the window? No. I think it was this one, but because of the glare, you can't see it. Maybe it is really her, you know, and she thought it was a painting. Maybe the ghost was just looking at her all still and shit. So that's a possibility. But she was like, yeah, everything is so beautiful except for this painting over here. But yeah, you might be right. It might not even be a painting. She was just like staring at you. Here's the deal. Okay. This is so stupid. You know, if they're selling it to you, why would you even offer the additional price if they're already like... She ain't got nothing better to do with her money, apparently.
If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just say, you know, we're interested and whatever amount that other people are going to offer you, you know, we're going to just add 5% on top. I mean, that makes sense, but to just offer 10% on top of the actual price.
I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I guess, if that's what you want. There won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Alright, she's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion project forward.
Please do.
There's a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start getting rid of this ugly painting.
Fuck this. A hush fills upon the room at my request.
What painting?
Oh my god, it wasn't a painting. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are so
Oh my god, these
up.
that kind of jump scare is worse, I think, because you don't even see it coming at all. All of a sudden, boom, right in front of you. Okay, she wants to meet with you. Why wouldn't you? Let me see here. Yeah, so like, yeah, I knew that was could possibly be this mirror over here. That's funny. So that thing has been looking at them like throughout the whole time, just staring at them all still and creepy. What does she want? Why wouldn't you want to have a meeting with her? Because she needs to know what you want her to do, right? So but let's question the need for a meeting, because if I already have stuff scheduled, then let's see what she wants to talk about. Uh-oh. It's a minus for Marianne. This isn't the first estate we've acquired, of course. We bought plenty of others, from penthouses in Luxbourne to vacation in townhouses in nearby cities. It is, however, the first time that an interior designer has asked for a meeting with me. Normally, I just let them do what they please and hope for the best. Wow, really? She really doesn't care about her money. She has too much money. She doesn't really care. I found that they rather liked the creative freedom it lent them. They all bragged about it. Anna Wright is living in a house I designed.
I can make time, but I'm sure you're more than capable enough to work on your own, yes? Surely I would just get in the way and you can do things faster and more efficiently without my input. Because, no offense, if you're one of those workers who need constant supervision and hand-holding, you might as well tell me no so that I can look for another interior designer to work with.
Surely this one will feel the same.
Yes. I am capable of working without any design input and without supervision, Mrs. Wright. But it'd be entirely different if I know what you two would want for this home, how each room is meant to be used. You have to consider what sort of colour palette you would want at the very least. Do consider that this will be your home and not mine.
None of those houses ever did feel like a home.
You won't give me a choice in the matter, will you?
What? No. You do have a choice, and...
No. You've clearly made up your mind that we must meet. All right, Monday, 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. Oh, that's a sound from the game. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you.
I'm looking at his ears, and it looks like... Does he have earrings on both ears, or just on the left? It might be both ears.
Not that I'm complaining.
Well, I'm glad you're not complaining like you usually do. It's a right and proper Christmas miracle, isn't it? Hannah has finally done something right.
I refuse to look at him, staring at the passing scenery instead.
Hey, Buttercup, what's with this cheek?
Rose, Lily, Mint. The nerve, Luke, the nerve!
Is that what this is about? 1, that woman's name was Rose. And 2, you know I don't mean a word of that empty flirting.
And it's still the principle of things, Luke. I understand if you try to woo them to get what you want when it seems that I'm not looking. But I told you once before not to do it when I'm there.
Luke dealt with other women in the past to get what he wanted. Sometimes I have my doubts. I really want to believe that I am an exception, that he's not just using me like how he used those other girls. You mean as a beard? I'm having a hard time believing that now. And it isn't just a shameless flirting. There's something about that Marianne woman, as if Luke is familiar with her. As much as it shames me, it makes jealousy rear its ugly head. That shade. I am, suffice to say, ticked off.
Really? I forfeit my trip to Cardiff for this, and you're still not happy.
Oh, trust me, Luke. I am very happy. Very happy that, for once, we are doing something that I want. Can you not see the smile on my face?
It is only when I let loose those words that the truth hits me like a slap on the face. Oh! And by the looks of it, it seems to have the same effect on my dear, darling husband. It has always been Luke wants to do this, and Luke wants to do that, hasn't it? I don't even remember the last trip we went to, which was of my own choosing, without needing to get the man's approval. On the other hand, I was pulled along to every single expedition he wished to tackle, and I never objected. The rest of the ride home is spent ignoring each other, pretending the other didn't exist. Look at that nice penthouse. They really don't like living there, really? Arriving at our penthouse, my first order of business is to get into bed. Forget a hot bath and forget the tea. I just want to bury myself in blankets and forget everything in my slumber. It seems that Luke has the same idea in mind as he tags along behind me. But this is something I will not allow the moment I pass through the door.
Out.
Wow.
What the bloody hell, woman? This is my bedroom too!
Luke stands, flabbergasted, as I deny entry into our chambers. His pillows lie on the cold, tiled floors, away from the warmth of our soft down bed. And my gaze promises him the same fate as if he does not budge on this matter.
Don't even try to argue, because I am very cross with you, Luke Wright. You can take the second bedroom or the guest room if you wish, but I do not want to see you at all for the rest of the night.
Johans!
Oh! Yeah, sleep with Johans instead. Our butler wanders over, a curious expression on his face. He doesn't quite hurry, moving at a relaxed pace no matter how angry his master sounded.
No, you are not allowed to sleep in my room, sir.
What?
That's not what I mean! Help me talk some sense into her!
There is no sense in questioning her right to be angry, sir. So, if I might be excused, I'll go prepare the second bedroom for you.
I have to keep a straight face as he stomps away in defeat.
Mutiny! This is mutiny!
He's such a pussy. Like, really? It's your bedroom too. Just jump on the bed.
The system is being upturned and the people are rioting and everything is left asunder.
Johan's the MVP. And he should be happy. What he should have done at that point is... See, he doesn't know how to play the game. Like, she said out, right? And he said, okay, I will be calling Rose tonight. And I will go over to her place to sign the paperwork. He doesn't know how to play the game. She would have been pissed. She would have been like, okay, fine. It isn't every day that Luke is rendered speechless by someone he considers inferior, or to yield to another authority without an ulterior motive. Or, you know, he should have just taken this opportunity, you know, pretend to be upset and then just sneak out and go sleep with a guy, you know, because that's all that he's been wanting to do. His pride just won't allow it. I do keep telling the man to treat his people better. He may throw whatever fit he wants, but he will not be getting his way tonight. Victorious, I celebrate by jumping face first onto our bed. Undignified, yes, but nobody is here to judge me anyway. Right? Nobody is here to tell me what to do. Yet, as I succumb to sleep, I can hear them whisper to me. Oh my God! I can hear them whispering. Calling for me. They want me. Need me. They drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in their embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss awaits, inviting yet foreboding. They're calling to me from in there, aren't they? And do I want to help? I do. But when I try to reach out, something pulls me back, like a hook sinking itself into my stomach. Woo! And I break through the surface with a gasp. Alone in bed and without Luke to hog the covers, I am swathed in cloth and slicked with sweat. It takes me a while to untangle myself and kick them all off. It's starting to get serious here with the horror. Both the bed and I are a right mess by the end of it all, but I am more than eager to just get up and go out for some fresh air. The days past had gone by a blur. The days past had gone by a blur. Ooh, Harvey Lee. Oh. During the open house, Hannah pressured the estate agents to sell her the mansion. The Wrights also met their interior designer, but displeased with her husband's flirtatious attitude, a disagreement brewed during the ride home. Inevitably, they ended up sleeping in different bedrooms that night. We hadn't talked much, Luke and I, outside of necessity. In fact, we've hardly talked beyond the topic of acquisitions of properties. Properties being the mansion, obviously. Everything has been so busy that I've talked to anyone outside of business. I haven't talked to anyone outside of business. And it is just so stressing. So one can understand my need for good chat, preferably over a good meal. There are times when any decent, emotionally healthy, and socially capable person need a good friend. One who will talk to them without the conversation degrading or turning into an argument. Or barring a nearby friend, I have an interior designer under a confidentiality agreement to listen to me.
Up, higher, come on now.
The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. I can hear Luke barking at them in the other room, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you must make.
It is hard to tune him out. The walls did not do a good job of muffling him at all. But then again, it is Luke. I would still hear him ranting, even if we were on opposite sides of the mansion. And I'm wearing earplugs.
I'd really like to thank you for inviting me to breakfast, Mrs. Wright. But I already ate, so I should really go back to work.
Nonsense! You arrived so early, you must not have gotten a proper meal. Our butler has made a surprisingly lovely bubble and squeak. Sit, sit! I'd situate us in the dining hall, but it is a mess right now. Oh, Johans!
The man in question appears, rarely with a tray, as he starts to set the table for us. We sit in silence as we are each served a plate. Ooh, bubble and squeak, topped by a nicely poached egg with cherry tomatoes and other garnishes adorning the edges of the plate. That looks pretty good. A cup and saucer and a teapot with some Earl Grey is placed down for Marianne and I. For Marianne, and I ask for an orange Julius.
How are you liking the project?
Drop that vase and I'll have your head. I know it's only an 8 million vase, but I swear.
Well, it's certainly a fun challenge, incorporating the designs of a Jacobean manor and the functionality of a modern household. I have ideas I would like to suggest, by the way, about what to use the second bedroom for. I have been informed of your goddaughter and thought a kid-friendly room might be in order.
You read my mind. I was actually going to bring that up. Oh, that would just be so lovely, Marianne. That way, Kylie can bring her friends over as well. And a good friend of mine, Rochelle, is expecting a baby. So, why don't we think about putting a crib in there too? I can just imagine little ones running around, filling this place with the pitter-patter of their feet. We'd have to make sure they don't trip and fall on the stairs, though.
We won't be able to finish everything up until after the party. But we'll have it ready by then, so that all we need to do is to move in the furnishings.
Yes, that's plenty fine. It's not like we're in a hurry to have it. And we wouldn't want the workers to disturb the guests or the other way around, do we? Just make sure it's presentable. You know, in case a guest snoops about.
Of course. As for the kitchen you wanted, I've already negotiated for the high-end stoves and the hot and cold drawers, so on and so forth. I've got a friend who was able to customize them so that they'll look like the counters we'll be replacing and fit the rest of the interior. They'll be bringing them in today.
Why can't you people do anything right? Don't drag it. You'll scratch the wood.
Excellent. But no, really, how have you liked it so far?
Oh, it has been wonderful, believe me. Everything is going smoothly too. It has been a long time since I've worked on something in this grand a scale. Nowadays, everyone is about condos and flats, living in the city where every room is an identical box. Believe me, this is very refreshing.
We lived in a condo before this, Marianne.
I didn't mean any insult.
It's fine, sweetie. Look at you, all
Sweetie.
frazzled. I was just pulling your leg. Luke wanted that penthouse when we got married, and you can thank him for purchasing this place as well.
She looks confused. Of course, she has every right to be. She, no doubt, overheard me push that estate agent into the sale, making quite the aggressive offer. She saw me sign the papers for the mansion as well. I just had to scoff.
Don't be fooled. I'm just the treasury. I wouldn't be able to make a purchase this grand without his seal of approval.
I see.
That's it. That's all you have to say.
Yes. It wouldn't be appropriate to comment further. It is unprofessional.
Unprofessional?
I can't help but let out a sigh, deep sigh as I stick a fork into the dish. I didn't want professional. I want someone who will either agree with me, even if it's just for the sake of agreeing, or someone who will try to talk some sense into me. Neutral responses are so boring. Yeah, but why are you talking to a fucking contractor? Stupid bitch. There's no discourse in the middle ground.
The food is good. Best bubble and squeak.
Of course it is. Our kitchen staff only uses the freshest hand-picked ingredients. Only the best for the rights.
Mr. Wright is not joining us?
No, he is far too busy bossing people around. He even refused to join me for breakfast earlier, hence this.
I see. My apologies.
All this talk about
I really
food.
don't know what sort of response you expect to get from me.
Let me grab myself a cookie because I haven't eaten actually. I ate some breakfast and I didn't eat lunch. Just waiting for dinner. But yeah, let me grab a cookie. This game's making me hungry. There, as soon as I got back. There's a clatter of silverware as I slam my hands on the table. It's frustrating. I am frustrated. At Luke mostly. But Marianne's neutral, professional answers are certainly irksome as well. Why is this cookie like crumbling to the touch?
You're a human with feelings and opinions, aren't you? Don't give me this bollocks about being professional when we're having a nice friendly chat over a nice and friendly breakfast. I can only talk about interior designs for so long, and I detest one-sided conversations, Marianne.
But I really don't know what to say, Mrs. Wright.
Bollocks.
We were talking of no topic in particular, and
Luke. We were talking about Luke.
about him not eating breakfast with you.
About him treating me as if I were some treasury.
Well, aren't you? You know it's only with you because of your money. Not because of love. I didn't realize that I shouted that out loud until it is too late. There's a stunned silence that settled before I slumped back into my seat. Hiding my face behind my hands, I can feel my shoulders shake. Breath, I told myself. Calm down. But it is just so hard.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like he doesn't love me anymore.
He never loved you, bitch. He never did. What is wrong with you?
Oh, have I been so blind? Did he ever love me at all? Was our marriage all for the sake of saving his company and his wealth?
No shit. Remember that he only fucked you once. Wedding night. That's it. And he only did that so that it won't be too suspicious. And after that, traumatize him. He had never touched you no more now, did he?
Because?
Did I say that out loud again? No, this is bad. Unacceptable. It has been rumored before, the real reason for our engagement. But if anyone were to know of this, marriages of necessity to carry on political and financial power used to be a common thing, but the Evans-Wright union is the perfect happily ever after. Was supposed to be. Is it true that we first met each other in order to discuss dealings? To make the then failing Wright Enterprise a subsidiary for Evans Incorporated? But I do remember being in love with him, and there were times when he said he loved me back. Even if I'm not sure of what the truth is now. Either way, I do not want the Wright name or the Evans name dragged through the mud because of a slip-up. Why would you threaten her? I thought she has a confidentiality agreement. And if Mary's so much as talk of this, Marianne is a good sort, isn't she? So far, she has been reasonable and accommodating, even towards Luke's ridiculous requests. patient and professional, did it only extend to business? Or would she be able to understand that things like this are not as simple, not as clean as they are painted to be? Certainly, I can talk to her. As for her...
I won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright. Not only am I contractually obliged to, it would also go against my principles. This is no one else's business but your own, and it should be kept between the two of you. And whoever you wish to seek counsel from.
Please, Marianne. You have to understand. These sort of affairs, if anyone were to know this, they could just twist it and we'll be ruined. All I ask for is your silence on the matter.
If I am to be frank, Mrs. Wright, this isn't new for me. You aren't the first, and you certainly won't be the last to have complicated dealings. Unless what you're doing is illegal, I turn a blind eye.
Can I trust her?
If I wasn't in the same boat, I'd be trying to pry those secrets and gossip with you about them by now.
Well, I'm keeping that information confidential as well.
It's not like I have other choice, do I?
Thank you.
We continued to eat our meal in peace, finishing the last of the food and drink. When the door to the parlor opened, Marianne and I are just sitting in silence.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
I give him nothing but a small nod.
This was a wonderful meal, Marianne. You're free to return to your duties. I must excuse myself.
It was my pleasure. And thank you for the food as well.
Oh, she curtsied a little bit. Making my way downstairs, I look back and see Mary. I like the little animations in this game with the characters. Making my way downstairs, I look back and see Marianne give me a small nod and a small smile. That certainly put me in lighter spirits. An interview with Luxury Living. That is today, isn't it? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, so we're here at 26 now? The Wright couple moved to their newly bought mansion today and was already preparing for a housewarming party. Hannah and Marianne were seen having breakfast together, with the former complaining and accidentally divulging too much details about her marital problems. She needs a friend or something. She needs a man is what she really needs. She needs Harvey Lee. People had why? Where's your husband? People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us. Hopefully I won't have any other unfortunate slip-ups with someone who isn't bound by confidentiality. I like this music. The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start. And I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite daffodils stands out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftops of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. Oh my god, it's fucking Zachary. He is hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong in the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. So she's actually gonna fuck Zachary. It is a peculiar sight, seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am.
He works with Luxury Living.
Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
So why does Zachary sound like that though? I mean, if he's European, I guess we don't. Not until we get his profile, I guess, and see where he was from. She wants to steal.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hana, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hana.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright, Hana.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with a camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well, whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruits, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. He provided all of these? Wow. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase. She wants those powerful hands on her body, handling her delicate bits.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights? Don't tell me all these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. Ooh, the ballroom needs little preparation with its grand setting, grand design. Although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Johan's kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. They ain't be fucky in there. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about botched photographs. I mean, these days there's no reason to use traditional cameras anymore. She's gonna get the steal and Luke might get it. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. Why is she thinking all these... thinking about these strange thoughts about Mr. Steele? There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes as far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Despite that, he has been so nice, and I find myself putting on my best smile. But it is as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have noticed. It is merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. Oh! Oh! His finger doesn't move to release the shutter? Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face. Gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there's a slight sheen of sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach, is something the matter?
She ain't getting piped down. Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back, and an indescribable tightness around my throat. That's you imagining him putting his dick, his large, long, hard dick down your throat. That's all. Everything stops. And everything starts again as I manage to choke out.
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there's an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
I want to be a film director. Aren't you? You're already a film director. You make documentaries and shit. Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose into other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so, as I see his shoulders slump, and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colours. I suppose they would have liked Blue Booby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates, but when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it out. All out. Blue Fonzie, l'horreur, le plus sombre des noirs britanniques. Dark blue, the darkest hour of the black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker, if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. She is falling in love with him. Prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general, still being treated like second-class citizens, all because of the color of their skin. It is all just positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point wherein he soon loses steam. He looks abashed, realizing that what he had just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Oh my god, they are gonna fucky. Oh my god. Besides, I've never seen a black penis before.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
I want to say that I understand where he's coming from, but I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I've lived a charmed life. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties have been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared were it any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any lesser?
What was your home like? These things you talk about. It sounds like you've... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around.
So he is from the US.
Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around. But a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards, and the stolen item is not a pencil, but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that...
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents, just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us, and there's a moment where There's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
He certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one, just as large and extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Anna Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, the darkest hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite. What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's busy, looking up, taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents.
What? No, thank you. You can keep him.
Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
Oh, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry, but I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I could cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It has been too long since I've had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met, Zachary is the sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. The photo shoot went by a breeze, and somewhere along the way, as we talk and laugh, I find myself getting a bit too close without realizing. What about the interview portion? He still needs to report that in or write that. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agree to do his little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't that odd. That is how I am. Zach. Zach. Comfortable in that pussy. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind, but he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. He should be able to handle me? What is she talking about now? All it is a friendly touch here. What? A friendly touch here. A pretty smile there. They're touching each other now. A gentle swaying of the hips as I move around. Oh my god. Zachary grew and grew more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Zachary and I are just having playful, friendly chat. I mean, your husband doesn't love you. Your husband is not interested in you. He's interested in dudes. So there's nothing wrong with this. Friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that?
Oh, stop touching my crotch. Stop? I'm not sure if I want to, though. It feels so big. What do you have in there? A cucumber? Continue teasing, yes. This is who I am, and I am not going to tone myself down for somebody else. Alright, let's see. Is it a plus? It's a minus, Zachary! Cucumber. Zachary doesn't like all the touching. Zach is a good boy. I have no obligation to do so. At any rate, he is rather cute. And it is a bit fun seeing him squirm. That's the worst that can happen. I doubt it will be anything bad, considering how much of a gentleman he is.
Oh, stop doing what, Zach, sweetie?
Oh my god, gotta move slow with it.
Touching my arm and looking at me like that.
Well, she's all moist. What? I paused, giving him a baffled look. This is certainly the first time a man has ever complained about me being too friendly.
I'm not doing anything wrong. Come on now, don't be like that. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, live a little, Zach. A bit of harmless fun.
I'm sorry. It's just really uncomfortable and I don't think either of us want Mr. Right to see us and think there's any funny business. I'm sorry. Look, we're finished with the interview already, aren't we? Maybe it's about time I go.
Oh, you must be joking.
No, I'm not.
You're certainly the odd one. Don't be such a killjoy. A little bit of flirting never hurt anyone. Other men would simply be delighted by my interest in them. Besides, you really are such a cutie.
Well, I'm not them, Hannah. So, yeah, I'm probably odd.
Oh, fuck you.
I don't understand you.
Let me put it this way. You're a pretty lady, so this must have happened to you at least once or twice. How would you feel if someone was making you uncomfortable? Only for them to refuse when you ask them to stop and they make you out to be the one that's wrong?
This isn't the same as that.
Hannah for the streets. As I try to argue his point, he starts to pack the rest of his bags. Oh my god, this is preposterous. My main argument is, what sort of man complains about a beautiful woman being friendly with them? It seems logical in my head, but the moment I try to say it, it starts to fall apart.
Yes, it is. Unwanted advances don't make me feel macho or anything like that. I'm not here to argue morals or ethics, Miss Wright. I think I have more than enough for the interview, if that's fine with you. I may be starting to overstay my welcome.
I feel deflated, and things were going so smoothly too. I ended up pushing too hard, just when I might have found myself a good friend. I'm not sure if I feel awful because I'm not getting what I want, or because I was just compared to the pigs I so despise.
You're not even going to let me apologize.
You're not a bad person, Hannah. Just...
Because I really am sorry.
People won't always be how you want them to be. And apology accepted. But I really do need to go. A friend of mine is expecting me and it's getting late.
Will you visit again? I will be asking for copies of those photographs.
Yeah, sure. I'll make you a copy.
That will be much appreciated. I'll ask Johannes to see you out.
I feel sick to my stomach as I watch Zachary leave. It is silly to be upset over a falling out with a man who was, only a few hours ago, a complete stranger to me. That doesn't excuse my boorish behavior at all, and it doesn't make the ill feeling any better. Idling about, I stare off into space, unsure of how I feel. And I stay a good while, just standing there until the sun sets in the horizon. Disheartened, I proceed back into the mansion for supper. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. Hannah met Zachary Steele, a freelance photographer from Luxury Living, an interior design magazine. Zachary was tasked to interview Hannah and to take pictures of the mansion and its new owners. What should have been a professional meeting ended up being friendly and perhaps too personal. Wow, the story of this game is actually really good. It is dark. For a moment I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case, as every other room is brightened with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there is the distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there's a hiss. Open the lights?
I'll turn the lights down, woman.
Oh my god. Yeah, that ain't no man. Yeah, that ain't no man. There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband, and his face in one hand and the glass in the other. Oh, it's 7 o'clock, so I'm finishing up here. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe? You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview at Luxury Living. You know that.
And I get to feel a real strong, a real man dick.
Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem, and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you? If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
What's it gonna be? Should I tell the truth or tell a little lie? Just tell him that you were Zachary.
I was talking with Zachary, the photographer for Luxury Living.
Oh, he doesn't like that. I have no reason to tell lies. It's not like I'm guilty of anything. But as Luke's expression turns, he makes me feel like I actually am to blame for something. He has a way of making me feel laid bare with just a look. Look at that face. Luke sucks. I'd send him back home. Look at that face. And that is no man. I can tell you that.
That giant Negro.
What?
You were having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
What are you implying?
I'm implying nothing. I'm just
Oh my god.
worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup. He must have been really friendly to occupy your time like that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this game is very surprising.
But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning. He'll go to his journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature, the grass and the trees, wonderful and breathtaking. Now, as I look at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke. I can't say the same for you as of recent.
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hannah.
No. I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, right?
A hangover forgotten during the course of this little spat. The man jumps to his feet and seethes. It looks like he is barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can find. Oh my god. He's throwing a fit like a little girl.
And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes.
Alright, my food is here though, so I do have to go. Even though this is getting super exciting. I like this game a lot. I mean, it started really slow, but it's starting to pick up now with the story details. And then the scares have been pretty surprising, so you gotta play this. It's a great game. I like it. I'm glad that I've chosen this as one of my lineup for Gothtober. It's a pretty cool game. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. It's spicy, same time. But yeah, thanks for being here. It's been fun. I look forward to playing this game again. It's great. Bye bye.